Lunchtime with Ruby. This is the famous nacho roll. It's one of God's greatest gift to man, I think. It's just like pita bread and then pinto bean paste and then chips, like corn chips. Yeah, like even Ruby wants some. And then cheese melted on it, so like under the grill. Put some sour cream over the top of that, lettuce, tomato, and then alfalfa sprouts, and this is what you get. Masterpiece. And some sweet chili and salt and pepper. Anyway, thought we'd look at the 3D printer now. So once I finish this, maybe we'll go check out the 3D printer. Righto, here you go. Good girl. Such a polite dog. Yeah, you take it so politely. And I'm back. So, looking at the 3D printer. This thing here, it's a Creality, I forget what it's called, Ender 3 SE or something like that. But I just went to JCar, which is my local electronics store, to get some other parts for this thing, and pretty much just ended up walking out with a 3D printer. But wanted one for a long time, and it's going to save me a lot of screwing about trying to create random things like this out of, like, I don't know, things that are laying around. So pretty stoked to have it. Cost me $370, which is like 250 US. Would have been 300 if I got the old version, but I like new stuff, so went for that. It's pretty cool. Done a lot of time lapses on it. This was the first thing I printed, or that the girlfriend chose to print. Pretty cool. And that took like 7 hours to print that. So yeah, and then I tried to print last night. Actually, you were just printing in this first video in the background. I was trying to print this thing. Pretty cool. You can like assemble it and yeah, it just sort of sit on your desk. Problem was that he did say don't use I forget what they call this kind of stuff, the filament, PLA or something like that. Anyway, you can see when I started trying to put it together, it just absolutely failed the axial strength of it, because this kind of just pulled apart from too much trying to put that thing in between, and it's just sort of pushed that apart and just axial sort of failure. So instead, what I'm gonna do is maybe they're all the parts. I spray painted the grey ones. What I'm gonna do is maybe print it again, but at like 150% the size, so it'll be a little bit bigger. But that way, it gives these little parts an opportunity to sort of have more material about them, because a lot of these like broke as I pulled them off. I'm pretty sure these two, all right, that one's meant to look like that one. It's just too thin. So make it bigger, make it more solid. So like make the inside of the parts not as hollow, like maybe 50% solid inside. And yeah, that's kind of it. I also got that little heater thing over the back for the filament, and that's just to stop for this to go in usually, and it heats it up. So if there's any moisture in it, apparently it's a problem. Could have just got sold it because the guy was taking advantage of me in a absolutely high coffee state. Just window shopping really. I was like, yeah, I'll have that too. I'll have that. But it's kind of annoying because like when this thing's trying to, oh shit, just dropped the microphone. When this thing's trying to pull the filament down and in while it's zipping around, it needs to like pull out of that and the roll. So I've put the roll up there because it can just sort of turn more freely. Maybe every now and then I'll put it in the heat box to like heat it up a bit. But yeah, then I also like created this little housing on on the top here, on the top of the Raspberry Pi. This is a battery pack. That's a Raspberry Pi computer. And then that's just like this little housing that I've made. Yeah, it's kind of it. There's a bunch of other little pieces floating around somewhere that I printed, but it kind of just kept failing until I got this one going. It's pretty good. Oh yeah, there's other pieces over there. I think. Actually, that might just be hot glue. I don't know where they are. Anyhow, doesn't matter. Cool. Well, that's the 3D printer. I don't think there's much else to say. It'd be cool to get a few more colors. Make some I can like print stuff like this rather than spray painting it. To be honest, it's probably just easier to spray paint it. I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, that's the 3D printer. I'm going to be using it a lot, I think, with this channel because I'm going to be making really wacky stuff like this thing, which you still don't know much about that thing. But yeah, it just helps me save me a ton of time and also like make sure that the thing save me time and it'll just like make sure that I can kind of get accuracy in what I'm trying to achieve there. Like if I try to make that little thing out of like timber or just like I don't know what I would have done to try and remake that thing. Would have been hard. I would just have to come up with some other fully different solution. So yeah, that's the 3D printer. See you in the next one.